Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm going to do something a little different today. Take a break from axes for an hour or so. I'm going to make 4 log dogs, which are basically large staples that are used in conjunction with building a log structure. When the logs are temporarily in place and you're scribing lines for your notch cuts, you need to hold them steady. These large staples will tie the logs to the secure log below it and keep things from moving around while you're trying to measure and cut. So I'm not working from any particular drawings or plans. I didn't even look up pictures. I just remember that they're about this big. They got spikes on them about that long at either end. I've heard people say that they make the spikes round, or they make them wedged, one this way, one that way, so it doesn't leave marks in the wood. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe in certain applications that makes sense. In my application, any marks I put in the wood are going to be in the area where one log sits on top of the other, so those marks are going to be buried by the chinking. And so for that reason, I'm just going to go with a square taper. It's the quickest and easiest thing for me to do. I'm going to square taper about 2 inches on either end of each bar, and then I'm going to bend 90, probably about 4 inches high, and whatever I end up with in height, well, that's how long they're going to be. And these are 24 inches to start, 1/2 inch square bar. And yeah, follow along. I'll finish up this video with a little bit of footage of them in action as I start to build a little log structure here on the property, and that may become some future content as well. If you're interested in seeing the log structure going up, then mention that in the comments below. And the other thing to do while you're here and thinking about it and is to go and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm about 25% of the way there, maybe almost 30. And yeah, it'd be great if you guys could pile on and help boost me up to 1,000. I think I'm going to do some sort of giveaway. Again, if you've got ideas on what the giveaway should be, I'm open to hear that as well. So yeah, follow along guys. Log dogs, traditional blacksmithing again. Just started out by marking the bars. So I've marked the center line, and I've marked 3 inches in from the end. Again, just reference marks, so that when we come back, taper things, we get some consistency in the 4. I don't know if I need 4 of these for what I'm doing, or if 2 will be enough, but I'm going to try them out a little bit, and if they work well, I'll probably put them up on the website. So if you're following along because you're interested in log structures and you need some tools, I'm happy to make you. We'll start off with these log dogs, and I think we're going to work on a scribe as well. Basically a pair of dividers, almost a compass like you had in school. Probably something to hold a standard carpenter's pencil, I think, would work well. And then we can use that to scribe the notches in the logs. Again, if you want to see that, mention it in the comments. So there's my original mark, was 3 inches. Now we're at the width of the anvil, which is about 5. I put a bit of a lazy bend in this with it centered on the center punch mark. Now I'm just going to spread out the end here. The idea, I guess, being that a radius is stronger than a sharp corner from a durability standpoint. Probably way overkill for what I'm doing, but yeah. Whoa. Time for a new ironwood mallet. Well, full disclosure here, I used a chainsaw to score this before I'm chopping at it here. And I do have a hewing axe. It's an antique. Not something I would actually use, even though it's probably perfectly fine to use for this job. I kind of wanted to see what it was like to do this job with just the Hudson Bay axe and a saw, albeit the original settlers wouldn't have had a saw like mine. They would have had a hand saw, which effectively does the same thing, just takes a little longer. So if you're attending YouTube University today to get 100% authenticity, full disclosure, this isn't it. Chainsaw, I framed the base of the cabin with pressure treated lumber, and now I'm gonna knock the bottoms off of, I split the first long logs in half lengthwise, again with the chainsaw, and now I'm just flattening the bottom of the second row of logs, which run perpendicular, and I'm doing that so that they'll rest flat against the subfloor. You'll notice I don't have a floor right now, and that's intentional. I thought about putting it in first. It might make things easier in some regards, but I'm worried about it getting wet between now and the time that I put a roof on this cabin. I want to insulate this floor. So my plan is to build the cabin and to not cut any openings for windows or doors until absolutely the last minute. And then I'm going to jack the cabin up about an inch and slide my subfloor in underneath, insulation subfloor. And yeah, that'll just protect the insulation and subfloor from the rain and the weather over the winter. And I don't plan to have a roof on this probably till spring, unless I get super ambitious, but generally I get busy around the Christmas time. So yeah, this is just a taste of it, guys. The log dogs are working well. Happy with them. They're 18 inches long, and they hold the log quite securely. You can see I'm chopping here. The log's not moving at all, really. It's staying put. So I'll call that a success. And again, if you're building a log cabin and you're looking for some of these traditional tools, happy to make you a set of log dogs. I'll post them pretty well anywhere you want, at your cost, of course. So I may put a set up on the website. And yeah, thanks for joining in, guys. Some more traditional blacksmithing / homesteading. In this case, I'm building a small bunkie, 12 by 8, which is small enough for my local building codes that I don't need a permit to do, and should be handy with the guests coming over, an extra place to sleep. And I set it back from my own house far enough, with enough trees in between, to give it a sense of seclusion, and it should be a nice little getaway. All right, we'll see you again soon, guys.